There is no banh mi without chua. That is not an opinion, it is a structural fact. Here goes the chua.
This tart, sweet, crunchy, pickled daikon and carrot is what makes the whole sandwich make sense. And today, I'm gonna show you how to make it in under 20 minutes and tell you the remarkable cultural story behind the world's most perfect sandwich condiment. Hello, and welcome back to It's Nikki Lynn's. I'm Nikki, and this is day 7 of Pickled Around the World in 10 days. Yesterday, we were in the heat of the Caribbean. Today, we're in Vietnam for something completely different, hence fresh, fast, and bright. Chua, let's go. Chua literally means sour stuff in Vietnamese, which is possibly the most charmingly understated name for any food I have ever encountered. Because this is not just sour stuff. This is the backbone of one of the world's great sandwiches and a condiment that appears across the full range of Vietnamese cuisine. Vietnamese food culture has been shaped by a remarkable convergence of influences over thousands of years. Indigenous Southeast Asian traditions, centuries of Chinese cultural and culinary influence that brought daikon radish, certain pickling techniques, and a whole philosophy of balanced flavors. And then nearly a century of French colonial presence from the 1850s through the 1950s, which introduced the baguette and the French tradition of sandwiches. When Vietnamese cooks got hold of the French baguette, they didn't adopt it wholesale, they transformed it. The flavors were incredible. They nailed it with the pâté and the chilies, and that combination with the cilantro and proteins, absolutely divine. And right at the center of that transformation was chua, the pickled daikon and carrot that tied all those disparate influences together.
Beyond the banh mi, chua appears throughout Vietnamese cuisine.
Perspach Ray, alongside bún bò Huế, the famously complex spicy beef noodle soup, next to grilled pork over rice, tucked into fresh spring rolls. As a simple side dish to cut through a rich braise, it is the Vietnamese kitchen's all-purpose brightness tool. For 1 jar of chua, enough for a week of banh mi, just one of these large daikon radishes. 1 cup of rice vinegar, and then 1 cup of warm water, just like this. It's really that simple. 2 large carrots, 1 teaspoon fine salt, and 1 teaspoon sugar, phai, for pre-salting. That's it, 5 real ingredients and a brine. The simplicity is the point. This pickle is all about balance and freshness, not complexity. Cut your daikon and carrot into matchsticks, but about 2 inches long and 1/4 inch thick. You want uniformity here, so everything pickles at the same rate. Next, we'll take these matchstick vegetables and add 1 teaspoon each of salt and sugar. Just toss them in there. Then put on the lid and massage it. Rinse the vegetables thoroughly under cold water to remove all the salt and sugar. Then squeeze them firmly in your hands or in a kitchen towel. You want to get out as much moisture as possible. Make your brine: rice vinegar, warm water, 4 tablespoons sugar, and 1 teaspoon salt. Stir until completely dissolved.
Taste it. It should be noticeably sweet with a bright, clean tartness. Adjust if needed. Pack the daikon and carrot tightly into a clean jar. Pour the brine over them, pressing the vegetables down to ensure they're fully submerged.
Let it cool to room temperature. You can eat these immediately, but they're significantly better after an hour or 2 in the fridge. Keeps for up to 2 weeks refrigerated, though they're best in the first week. The banh mi is the classic, and it is non-negotiable. French baguette or a Vietnamese-style roll, if you can find one. Spread with pâté and mayonnaise, layered with your protein of choice: roasted pork, grilled lemongrass chicken, tofu for a vegetarian version, even sardines. Then cilantro, fresh jalapeno slices, cucumber, and a generous pile of chua. This is one of the great sandwiches of the world.
Beyond the banh mi, in vermicelli noodle bowls alongside fresh herbs and grilled meat, tucked into fresh spring rolls with shrimp and lettuce. As a side dish with any Vietnamese soup. Honestly, a small bowl of chua on the table elevates any meal.
Day 7, chua, 20 minutes from start to finish, and one of the most useful things in your refrigerator. And that's how we're pickling around the world. Find the full recipe and history in my new book, link in the description. Day 8, we go to Scandinavia. Pickled red onions, smørrebrød, and the food culture of the Vikings. I will see you there.